Start, Ben. Final Reckoning, the final tribal council for this season. We have our two finalists, Abby and Ben, final two this season, who are here to battle it out. We're just going to quickly go over procedure again, as we always do, because I know that some people don't like to read. LOL. So there is going to be a 10-minute opener from both of the final two, because Abby won immunity. She chose to go second, so Ben will start, and it'll be reverse order on the closer. The jury order was predetermined by me. The jury knows it. They have been sent it. So the way it's going to work is when it's the person prior going, I will invite the next juror to the backstage, so they'll watch in the background. So we'll try and make this as seamless as possible. Jurors have 10 minutes for their whole question period, including answers from the final two. They don't need to use that full 10 minutes. And please don't if you don't need it for your questions, because we would all like to hang out and drink.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to ban any questions that are rank anything really related to the jury, like rank the jury based on gameplay, which member of the jury should be there instead of you. Those questions can't really inform a winner question. And of course, any compare every person to anything will get you a swift kick from this call. Besides that, I just ask that everyone listens to each other attentively, listen when other jurors are asking, because they have just as many questions. The jurors just finished up their jury roundtable, so I know they have been discussing what questions they want to ask, so I hope that they know that they want to listen to each other's answers as well. At the end of this, I'm going to pull the jury into the voting booth one last time, one by one. They will be voting for who they want to win, and we will see the votes for the very first and last time this season, which is so fun. Okay. Without further ado, I'm going to stay in the background for most of this. I'll come in every now and then to do some mic stuff. But we are starting with the opening statement here. And due to the draw, Ben will be going first. So Ben, whenever you are ready.
That's crazy that we just have to do this, not even knowing who's watching. That's, oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm not ready. I am ready. I'm ready.
You have to be. You have to be ready.
Okay, but yeah, first off, before we start, just want to congratulate Abby. You got here. We did really well to get here. I'm really proud of us. Because we had to freaking go through 50 days of this shit. Sorry, not the greatest way to start. But yeah, it was really fun. Basically, I just want to take you through my game from start to here. And really try and sell to you, jury, why I feel like I deserve to win this game. I came into this game wanting to set a tempo. For me, there was a very clear opportunity to do this and play the game from the very beginning. And that's what I wanted to do. The tokens were such a big part of the pre-merge, and I wanted to make sure I was taking advantage of them. So I started using them straight away to start forming bonds. I used them to form bonds with BT, and I used them to form bonds with Emily. And by using the tokens, I feel like it really helped establish a trust where we were trying to get aligned in the same people. I believe early in the game, I set myself up really well. But then I got confident and I started overplaying, and that was kind of apparent in the way that I tried to get myself sent to exile, where I ended up losing a lot of power and BT as well, one of my really good allies. So I kind of let everything fall apart there for me. And I kind of got back to camp, and the vibe was very, very different. I felt like I was very much towards the bottom, and I didn't really have anywhere to go. But the early relationship I made with Emily saved me from being voted out that early. We went to Reckoning. Sorry, I'm still going to mix that up. Went to Reckoning, and I barely survived a split vote. But I believe that my relationship with Emily pushed the vote in Erin's direction rather than me. And after that Reckoning, I had multiple people come to me and say, if we go to go back to Reckoning, like, you're probably going to be the person who's voted out next. And so I really had to take the game into my own hands here, and really push through these immunity challenge to try and get myself to a swap. And that's what I did. The challenge that came after the Erin boot was the one where Sam, Bridget, and Will were just talking nonstop, and we had to answer the questions. I scored the highest amount of points on our garrison for that, and really was a big factor in the reason we won immunity that time, because I needed to do that to save myself. And after 3 weeks of surviving on Amarok, we finally made the swap. And this is where I started trying to actually build momentum in my game. This tribe was a very tricky one, because when you look at the dynamic, I had two people that wanted me out. I had 3 people I'd never met before and only 1 person that I actually had any trust with. And so I immediately needed to start getting to work and building connections. And I did that with Trent. We really got on the same page and spilled a lot of information to each other about where our heads were at and how we wanted to move forward in the game. And then once Trent disappeared to exile and we went to Reckoning, I really was able to establish those bonds with Kieran and Karen as well, and flip the vote from Amarok majority to taking out one of the bigger threats in the game, I believe, and one of my main targets, Aaliyah. Following that, we also took out Sam. And while that does seem very easy, that's not all I did on that tribe, because on that garrison, Karen, Kieran, and Trent all expressed how they thought Emily was a threat and they didn't want Emily around, and instead they would prefer to work forward with Sam. And I had to change their perspective on that because I knew Emily had my back. And that's what I did. I went to Trent and I tried to form a way of saying that we could use Emily and work forward with Emily. And I feel like it worked. And I did the same with Karen and Kieran as well. And I really turned the tide from it being like a potential Emily vote to a Sam vote. But also there was this point of, if Sam goes to exile, Emily's screwed. And I was basically trying to set up with Trent and Kieran a flip onto Karen at that point. But when Trent told Karen that and Karen came back to me with the information, I denied it and ended up turning the Mylings against each other, despite them all being aligned in the same reasons. So I feel like I did really good work on that garrison. Then getting to Limbo and the tokens came out, I really wanted to take control of the tokens. I was the first person to kind of spend tokens, and I want to be the last person to receive tokens. And that's what I did for myself. There was this plan that Karen, Abby, and Kieran, I believe, kind of set up to like get Abby and AJ to the merge and like pull the people they wanted, pull Jude, and try and take out Trent there. I saw myself like working with this, except I didn't have as much power. And so I started using my old connections from Amarok and even some new connections and people like Calvin to start getting tokens for myself and putting myself to the top of the leaderboard where I could take some control. I met Calvin on that big call in front of everyone and we got along really well, continued our conversation, and then ended up, I decided I wanted to take Calvin so I could continue building that relationship with him. And we went to the merge early where we both together found an idol very early at the merge and set ourselves up for the long game. Karen going though, back in Limbo was not the intention, and great work by Trent to play that and idle out Karen, because I feel like she was a big threat coming into the merge. And so losing Karen meant I had to readjust as well. Trent and Tito started calling out this 4 that was like Abby, me, Kieran, Emily, based on the information that Karen was kind of spilling and the information that got leaked after Limbo. And that was all well and fine. I didn't mind that too much because instead I was starting to build a trio of myself, Calvin, and Emily. I had a really good relationship with Emily at that point and a really good relationship with Calvin. And so all I had to do was bring the 3 of us together. And that's what I did. And then because of the whole dynamic of the 4, I saw ourselves losing power. I also was really close with Kieran at that point. And so I put my foot down, gave up my immunity to take control back of that tribal council and get my intended outcome out, which was to keep all of us together. By doing this, I was saving someone I trusted. I was getting Trent out, someone who was trying to turn the tides against me. And I was also keeping my trio of Calvin and Emily undercover. After this, things threatened to fall apart. Tito came with a great plan for Emily, Calvin, and I to jump onto. But after a chat with Kieran, I decided that's not the best move for us moving forward. And so I pulled Abby, Kieran, myself, Emily, and Calvin onto a call and a group chat together to ensure we were on the same page moving forward. From this point onwards, I feel like I started becoming a threat. And despite being a target almost every round, I went on to help push our alliance forward all the way until the final 7. Now, why it was really important for me to move forward in this 5 was because I knew that we had the majority inside of the majority with Calvin, Emily, and myself, plus an idol. So all we needed to do was keep moving forward in this path where we're able to take full power for ourselves. By this point, I feel like people were really starting to try and figure out ways on how to target us. And that's why I feel like both Emily and I started emerging as threats, because we were very obviously working very close together. And so we really started to sell this idea that we were ready to turn on each other and that we wanted each other out. And that really was a great way for us to figure out where people's heads were at, who they wanted out next, and how we could deflect the heat away. Not only did I have Emily deflecting, though, I also had the relationship with Kieran I had deflecting the heat away from me as well. And I feel like the two biggest players in the game having deflecting votes away from me was a really good thing for me. I also then realized that if I was going to cut Kieran at final 7 and take the trio into the final 6 with an idol, we'd have 50% of the vote. That was great. So for me, losing Kieran there wasn't an important part. But I needed to make sure I had new plans moving forward, which is then why I reached out to Abby and we started talking and having a conversation about we should go to the end together. And so by taking out Kieran, especially with Emily pushing that, she became the biggest threat. It allowed me to hide a little bit further in the background while also developing my relationship with Abby there. Then we played out final 6, played out final 5 until final 4, where we'd achieved our goal of getting the trio there. And I'd set up myself in a spot where I had one person who wanted to go to the end with me, and the other 2 people were my allies. But final 4 was the most important part, I believe, of my game, because while working really closely with Emily and Calvin worked for me, I needed to prove that it was worth me working with them for that long. And so I needed to take them both out before the end and show that I could outlast them. Once again, I took final 4 immunity into my own hands, where I had to take out Emily, which put me in a final 3 where I was under the impression that Abby would take me, and I had a 66% chance of going to the end. And so that's kind of my journey on how I got here. And I'm very, very open to answering any of all your questions. I feel like I started on the bottom and worked my way into power until I took the control for myself. Yeah, basically just very happy to answer any questions. If I'm going to win anyone's jury vote today, I want to earn it. So really grill me with questions and try and break my game apart. I'd love to explain things for you. And that's all I got.
Thanks, Ben. Abby, whenever you're ready.
Okay, cheers, everybody. Okay. I want to say thank you for playing this game with me. Thank you for having fun with me. Thank you for competing and making this supremely challenging. And thanks for letting me get to know you. That's been my favorite part. I'm so happy, genuinely, to know that Calvin is a milk guy and that Jude collects really tiny alien figures that he uses in his confessionals for all of us. I think that is winning in itself to know those things. But the most important thing I want to thank you for is for how you played. All of you on the jury, thank you for playing the way that you did, because it was truly your actions that I used to get myself here. The game that I played in Endure is different than any game I've played before. This is my 6th org, and I've never done it like this. And I think it's that combination of changing my game to match the people I'm with is really what the linchpin is here. So production didn't believe me, but I was talking about it today. I'm like crazy socially anxious. I'm pretty sure my hands are shaking right now. That's an anxiety thing. And also I've been hungover for a long time, but I'm so anxious. I doubt my ability to compete with people in real life intellectually in everyday conversation. I'm always nervous. I'll say the wrong thing, that I'll come off as weird or inept. And I don't even call my closest friends, really. I'm pretty sure my first video call ever was when I started orgs. I am just a mess. And because I have this insecurity that I can't compete with people, I developed this kind of defense mechanism of playing dumb, of really honing in a party girl image, because it's easier than the will they or won't they of saying the right or wrong thing. This image I've crafted for myself, it's a hindrance in real life, I think, sometimes for me. It's hard for me to be vulnerable with people and get really close to them because I do have that wall up. But in this game, it was everything. It was my complete advantage because I could sit back, literally be drinking, toss in a joke or two, and people would just give me information while I listened. I didn't even have to say anything, and people didn't feel like they couldn't tell me things because Abby's not going to go and crunch the numbers. She's just here for a good time. But I was filing everything away. Nobody saw me as a threat because I never gave you a reason to see me as a threat. For example, The first time I ever talked to Emily, we just merged. I'm pretty sure I charmed the pants off of her. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to work with you. Like, we just vibe. I think about 10 minutes in, she tells me that her biggest ally is Ben, but she wants to vote him out. This tracks with Ben's story. I'm picking this up. So all I had to do was file that information away and not use it until I needed to use it. So then she comes back to me, maybe 20 minutes later, and she's like, no, never mind. I'm not gonna flip on Ben. Like, I don't know why I said that. So now I know they're working together, but there's also the crumb that she might want to flip on Ben. And I know that they're now purposely crafting an image that they're together, but not together, and together and not together. But I'm not going to say anything because it's not the time to do that yet. If I had used that crumb too early, I would have become a target for outing that, as Ben just said, or I would have, like, everyone would have been focused on splitting them up. And if you split Ben and Emily up, I lose my two-person shield. So I only dropped that later when we needed to get Emily out. Another example of me just knowing things is it got back to me that Karen was going to be targeted by Trent and company. I also knew that there was conversation of Trent holding some sort of idol situation. I knew that people lumped me and Karen together so that if she left before I could find an escape route, I'd be next boot. So I got Karen to spend all her tokens on me. I fled to safety, and then she got kicked off, and I had no skin in the game. This defense mechanism of acting dumb has afforded me so much information that I wouldn't have gotten if I had been out in front making moves and saying names. It afforded me observation, it afforded me intuition, and in turn, those two things gave me my biggest strong suit of the whole game: perfect timing. I knew when to bob. I knew when to weave. I knew when to flip on Kieran. I knew when to drop Jude's name, literally drunk, 5 seconds before the vote. I knew how to stage and when to stage a pre-merge coup of getting out Calvin's closest ally in Simona. I'm just really proud of myself. Now that I say that all out loud, I'm like, go off, girl. But I think what I really want to focus in on here, because it really is just summed it all up. On the forum, if you go to the night one marooning post, you know how there's those like little pink and green like cut quotes that people pulled from, or Prod pulled from the interviews? So mine's up there. Obviously, it doesn't say who it's from, but my quote is there. And it's, sorry, no tea, guys. Everyone who plays these games is kind of awkward and quiet and wants to talk game all the time. I want to be your bestie. No one wants to vote out their bestie. And guys, nobody did. Nobody did. I'm here. And I think that's it. And I still have time left.
Awesome. Thanks, Abby. Great. So let's just move right into everything. Our first juror is already in waiting. He doesn't need any formal introduction, but he does have a great new haircut. So welcome, Jude. Ooh.
Hey guys.
Hi, Jude.
Can
You're
you guys hear me?
together.
Okay. Hello. I didn't want to go first. This was not up to me, but I will start. Congratulations to both of you. Honestly, my vote is up in the air. It biasly maybe leaning towards Abby just because we've spent a lot of time together, and then I've been hearing about your game through the grapevine. I have some things I would like to have been cleared up. First of all, let me get my little notes out. Let's start with you, Abby. Hey, Abby. Hey, bestie. I knew that bestie post was about you. And also, just wanted to say, I knew about Pretty Privilege. Kind of mad that I wasn't a part of Pretty Privilege, but whatever. Um, I guess let's just get to the thick of it. So you're claiming playing the dumb card, which I think is brilliant. That's what I would do in real Survivor is to like dumb myself down so that people aren't as threatened by me. So my first question is the when you said my name drunkenly when I went out,
Yeah.
was it just a drunk remark or was there something deeper to it? And you kind of alluded to that. I want to hear what was the reasoning behind it because people voted for you that round and I was not one of them. I was refusing to vote for you. So why get out me when I still had your back at that point?
I know, and it's really hard, and I don't feel great about it. But oh, also I wanted to say the haircut's very good. Um, but Jude, you were going to go eventually. No tea. You were too good. Like you were really good at being my friend who I genuinely wanted there most of the game. I feel like we bonded so well on the swap tribe. Um, like I really wanted you there, but then I felt like you had a little more loyalty to Trent and you had proved that to me. And so there was that like bit of trust I didn't think that we could get back. And when I think the vote was waffling between you and Taylor at that point, so there's the argument of like, oh, we can get Taylor
I,
at
I
any
I
time.
think Taylor was immune during that time. I would just say.
Oh, then it would have been Craig because it was like the three of you. So I think I just saw a shot and took it. I was going to have to get you eventually. I didn't know where your allegiance lied. Like, I didn't know if you were aligned with Craig more or with me more. So I just literally took a shot and then took a shot.
So getting me out was good for your game because you didn't think that we could patch it up after what had happened to Trent. Even
I
though, like, if you think my allegiance was more towards Trent, but now that he's gone, did you
yeah.
not think that you could scoot me back up?
I honestly didn't think so. I thought you were such like you're really good at convincing everybody that you're with them. And so I didn't know if you were just playing me in that same way. And this is news to me, by the way, that you didn't vote me because everybody has been saying that you pushed that. So I think I also went with, oh, Jude's pushing my name. A hand that rises against me will fall, honey.
No, my plan for that. I won't go into it because I want to ask questions. I did not push that. I was going for you, Ben. To save time, I have more questions for you, Abby, but I'll skip to Ben just in case.
Okay.
Ben, I got the sense that you played a very chaotic game, but I think that there is some content and some calmness to the chaos. One of those chaos moments being you giving up immunity to Kieran. Was that how calculated was that on your part?
I'm one, I love fun. The idea of giving up my immunity is something that I have always like dreamt of doing. And like the idea of being able to spin that in a way that really works for me was something that I really wanted to do. It was quite a last minute kind of thing, but it was also like I wouldn't have done that if I didn't think that it would somewhat work. And so I knew that giving up immunity to Kieran would not only solidify my trust with Kieran, but it would also throw people off because I knew that I was already talking about chaos and going to exile and people thought I had an idol. So the idea that I could give up immunity and potentially split just 1 or 2 votes onto either an Emily or back to Trent was something that I knew that was possible. And by giving up immunity, I took a risk, and I think that you need to take risks like that to get power in this game, and it paid off.
Okay, thank you. I'll go back to Abby. So you're saying that you were aware that Trent was going to go during the weird limbo fuckery, but you were okay with Karen potentially going. I'm assuming you took me because you wanted to weaken the numbers with Trent. but potentially leaving Karen out for bait. Is this correct in terms of like you wanted to take me to weaken a number with Trent?
Well, there's 100%. That is absolutely part of it. The other part is we were just like friends at the time. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take Jude. It's going to be great. We've had a great run. So two birds, one stone.
Mhm.
Also, Ben and I talk about this all the time. If Karen didn't go pre-merge, shit was going to be fucked. Like Karen is crazy, like so good. So if she's going to go right before merge and I can squeeze out that last bit of alliance from her with the tokens, yeah, that was the perfect time.
Back to you, Ben. Was there a deeper reasoning with you taking Calvin, or was it simply you guys had a good talk? Because I have some theories on why you really took Calvin, but I want to hear your perspective on why Calvin out of everybody else when real merge started.
Yeah. So one of the big reasons why I wanted to take Calvin was genuinely just because we had a good chat on the first Limbo call. I thought he was funny. I had a great time talking to him. But also because he was a free agent. We had a big conversation, like an hour and a half long conversation after that Limbo call where we just discussed our games. We realized we had a lot of similarities in terms of the people we trusted and wanted to move forward with and similar targets. And so by taking Calvin, especially when there was people that wanted Calvin to try and make things happen with the Trent vote, but also people wanted Calvin to like kind of do what they wanted, I knew that it was an opportunity to bring Calvin closer to me over letting him get away to like Craig, for example, who had already had like a weak start on Calvin, I feel. And yeah, I just wanted to like bring Calvin back to my side.
Okay, Sam, how much time do I have left?
I think you just said 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Just put it in the chat.
Okay, Abby, what do you think saved you during the Simona vote? Because you told me you either go out in your history of Survivor, you either win or get out third. You almost came out third. So what saved you at the last minute in like a really quick blurb?
Like I said in my opening argument, timing and intuition. I knew who was most aligned with Simona and who was running that side. It was Simona and Calvin and Sydney. And I knew people that would lean that side, but were kind of open for the taking. And I feel like a lot of this game, when people know they're leaving, they kind of just lay down and die. And I'm like, absolutely not. I'm going to stage a coup. I'm going to get my boys and we're going to roll in. And all I had to do was literally be like, guys, they are in charge right now. Are we going to let that happen? And then everyone was like, Abby, you're so right. And it worked out perfectly.
Perfect. Thank you, Abby.
Yeah.
Ben, one more thing. You seem to know about a lot about where the idols were. Did you really think that I had the idol, or did you hear that rumor and you were just using that as fire to potentially get me out? Or did you genuinely think I did have an idol? Because you seem to know a lot about where idols were.
Yes. A lot of my information, like Emily and I found the idol clue very early on and worked through it. And part of the strategy was giving that idol clue out to people that we thought would be dangerous with it. And I was genuinely under the impression that Trent didn't find it. And I thought, based on the information I got, that the only other person that was possible to have an idol was you, Jude. And so I think I created a lot of idol paranoia that probably didn't benefit myself sometimes. But it always kind of ran in the same circles of like I knew who could potentially have it, and I used that to craft the right allies for me moving forward.
Great. You guys did not make this any easier on me. Those were both great answers. It made it even harder now. I was hoping one of you guys would like sink, but you both did great. Good job.
Thanks, Jude.
All right, thanks, Jude. You can go back to the jury call. Alrighty, moving on next to one of my all-time favorites, the sweetheart of the season, Miss Taylor. Yay!
Hey guys.
All right, Taylor,
Hi,
whenever you're
Taylor.
ready.
First of all, it's great to see your faces again. I've missed you in the few days or like week that I've been out. I don't know time anymore. and I've been very impressed by both of y'all's games. And so for me, I've just been thinking about kind of like representation of the season. So I kind of just wanted to ask like an overarching question for both of you. I'm just kind of curious what both of you would say about this. So my question is, how would you describe the season, and how do you think you fit in with the overall essence of like what the season felt, and how did you contribute to kind of like the like what this season like meant to you guys, like for example, if it's like chaos, then how did you contribute to the chaos? If it's strategy, how did you contribute to that? Yeah.
You feel like starting, Abby, or
I can go.
yeah?
I think that the theme of this season is loose lips sink ships. And I think I'm the only one afloat, babe. I think that I kept it under wraps this whole game, and everybody else is literally spilling, absolutely spilling, frothing at the mouth with information that doesn't need to be spread. It got so absolutely unnecessarily messy in like the last 6 that nobody knew it was happening at any time, except, I mean, I knew it wasn't me because I wasn't telling anybody's secrets. And I was also being really forthright with everybody. Like Emily came up to me and was like, "Hey, we're voting Kieran." And I literally said, "That's great. I hope you get it. I'm not voting Kieran." Or this vote with AJ. Emily's been one of my closest allies, and I was like, "AJ, I'm not voting you out." And I didn't. I voted Emily. It didn't work, but I have been consistent. I have been honest, and I keep information until I need to use it, but I'm not just saying stuff to say stuff. And then I'm never a target because I'm never outing anybody's bullshit.
All right, great answer. On to you, Ben.
Thanks, Taylor. When I look at this season, I kind of agree with Abby with a lot of the stuff she's saying, and that there was a lot of information spilled throughout the season. I do think I was a big part of that. I think I made several game-ending moves that should have sent me to the pre-jury, the jury. There were so many things I did that should have like sealed my fate. I put 10 tokens on Tito and then notoriously lied about it so much. Even though later I found out that people were always kind of assuming that I was the one to do it, and I survived. I also gave up my immunity in a position where like people could have just all turned it on me. I didn't actually have an idol, and so I made some very risky plays and did some things that I feel like potentially I shouldn't be sitting here basically. But I feel like I really worked hard to make sure that I had people that I could trust and people that could deflect things. I'm also a big, sorry, I kind of got a bit thrown off, but very much, in my own life, I studied film. I'm a big storyteller. I love leaning into the elements of like, this whole thing is kind of this developing story. And when production put these things in place, like the tokens, I want to make sure that I'm taking full advantage of it. And that's why I was the first person to spend like all my tokens and make things happen with the tokens. And then I was the last person as well to get all of the tokens put on me. I really like leaning into those elements. And I feel like based on like this story I've created for myself, that it feels really right that I've gotten to the end.
Can I hop back in?
Yeah.
Okay. To go off of what Ben was saying, I never had a single token played. Well, there were some tokens played on me. There were like 3, but we don't know what that was. That was the first round. But I never played any tokens because I never needed to. I was never concerned about somebody coming for me. And when I squashed that real quick. But I just think that Ben might have been playing too chaotically to the point where he was going over his game, his opening argument, and I wasn't sure what he was referring to. Like, let's keep it simple, keep what you have under wraps, and then use it. Don't just throw shots out there and see what sticks. So if the theme is chaos, I do think that Ben fits that better, but I think I am a poster child for anarchy, you could say.
I think that I'd finish with the fact that, in my opinion, then the season is loose lips don't sink ships, because I feel like I spilt a lot of information. I said a lot of things that should have got me voted out, and yet I still managed to get all the way to the end. So, yeah.
Both valid and amazing answers. Yeah, thank you guys.
Good question.
But I love those answers, honestly. So thank you. And that's it from me.
Awesome. Thanks, Taylor. You can go back to the jury call.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you. Alrighty. Next up, time for one of our fallen angels. It hasn't been too long since y'all have seen her, so please welcome to the stage, Miss Emily.
Howdy.
Hi, honey.
You
Whenever you're
know.
ready.
You're all dropping my name a lot in this conversation. I'm feeling some main character energy here. I had only 3 questions, but I'm gonna add a 4th. Hey Ben, who found the idol clue at Amarok? Was that us?
You definitely found it first. Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't just share it with you, so I just want to set the record straight there. But
Okay.
yeah. So, Abby, my question for you to start is, was there anything Calvin could have said at Final 3 that would have caused you to bring him versus Ben?
Probably anything else than what he did. His argument for me to take him it wasn't an argument. I felt like he was trying to do some reverse psychology. I literally get on a call with him. He's godfathering, like, oh, I could beat you so easily. Okay. All right. Well, maybe we'll find that on returnees season. But no, he couldn't convince me. But I was very open, and then he just didn't help his case, I feel like, at all.
Quick follow-up to that. What were the factors that you were considering and who you took?
I think I was thinking who I played more differently then. I think that Calvin and I both kind of played a little low key. We're aligned with the right people at the right time. And it's hard to argue against a person who has a similar argument. Ben and I played opposite. He's like absolutely making the plays, and I'm watching the plays happen and thinking what to do next. So I think that was a better argument for me to take.
Cool. Then a really big point of question for me, because I think it was so critical for both of your games, is what is the account of the final 2 conversation, when it happened and who started that conversation?
Oh, that's to me.
That's to either of you. So yeah, Ben, why don't you start?
Basically, I had a conversation at Abby, and how I remember it happening was Abby said to me that she thought she could beat me, and I said, that's great because I feel like I can beat you too. And I think we bonded off of that. And at that point in the game, I really felt like I could back my game. I feel like I'd play really well. And so the fact that someone was willing to go to the end with me was something that I wanted to grab onto and move forward with.
Am I understanding, Abby, correctly that you initiated that conversation?
I wasn't trying to make any deals. There was no initiating. It kind of was just like a casual conversation of like, wow, we're like in final 5 now. Like, we should probably start thinking about something. Yeah, haha, that's crazy. And I was like, Ben, I'm going to be honest. I think I can beat you. I think I can beat Tito. And he goes, yeah, I think I could probably beat Tito too. And I think I could beat you. And then we both collectively agreed that we probably couldn't beat Emily. So with similar interests in mind, you kind of just work together to reach a common goal.
That makes sense. All right. Thank you for that. And then last question, and then I'm done, I promise. What was your jury management style? And I'll start with you, Abby, and then I'll let you speak to it, Ben.
I'm a last minute confidence kind of girly. I don't know if jury management is my strong suit, and I'm going to be really honest, but I think that I think that the people that are on the jury are people that can answer objectively. I think that you and Kieran especially, and Jude too, are very good game players and think analytically and strategically. And so I wasn't worried about emotions that way. And then with people I was worried with emotions, like AJ, I was like, AJ, I'm not going to vote you out. And I didn't. So I saved that. Every time I got into a little tiff with Tito, because we might have seen it, I very quickly apologized and squashed the beef. So I think I just relied on the personality babes for the jury management, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I don't know if I did the best job at jury managing, because there are like 5 or 6 jury members, I think, that I didn't even vote with once. I very much was just focused on bringing the people that I thought would take me further forward. And that was kind of my perspective on it. In hindsight, I maybe wish that I did get a bit closer to some people, because I do think I left, like, for example, Trent and Jude not in the best place socially with me. And yeah, I feel like potentially I could have done a lot better managing that.
Cool. Great game to both of you. Really, really well done. And that is the end of my questions.
Thanks, Emily.
All righty. Thanks, Emily. You can go back to the jury call. All right, we're going to go back in time a bit. The Chaos Monster himself, the King of Ponderosa. Here is Mr. Trent. Hi, Trent.
Hello, how are you doing?
Whenever you're ready, okay?
Awesome. First off, so proud of you both. I couldn't have asked for a better two to be sitting here, especially once Kieran went home. I was like, those two are the best representatives of our season. So yeah, you're both badass, and I'm super happy to see either one of you win. I'm not going to drill y'all with a bunch of questions. I kind of think I have my mind made up. But I do just have one question, and it's, if you do lose this season, what do you think your biggest downfall was? And Ben, if you want to start with that.
Okay. My biggest downfall, I think, was probably being a little bit too impulsive at times. I think there were things that I wanted to do where I like, for example, straight on you, Myling, like I came to you and dumped a bunch of information on you. And gave away a lot of stuff that potentially I shouldn't have. I did that quite a bunch, and I feel like potentially it was a factor in why I didn't have as much power at some points during the game, especially earlier in the game. And I think that that's probably the main reason that I think would be my downfall.
Cool, that works. Abby.
Hi. Are you in Charleston, by the way? I was wondering if you were there.
I'll be there Sunday. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes.
Vote for me, bitch. That's awkward. Okay. I think that what got me so far in this game might also be the thing that doesn't let me win, and that's the visibility factor. This is a new tactic for me to play low. I am usually team TV. Let's start some chaos. But I knew that that's what's gotten me out in the past, has being too vocal. So I really tried to dial it back. It absolutely worked. It got me here. But I now do think I have a harder time selling that to the jury, because I have to go play by play through my thought process, when Ben's is a little more visible and easily to understand. So I would say that if I lose, it's probably because I didn't play loud enough.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you both. You're both absolute deserving winners, and good luck with the rest of the jury.
Awesome. Thanks, Trent. You can go back to the jury call. Craig hasn't joined yet, so now we're going to have to do this awkward stalling thing while we wait for Craig.
That's great, because I need more water. Is that okay?
Okay, take a quick water break if you need one. Take a quick
Okay,
break.
My friends are watching from home, like friends who don't watch Survivor, and they just messaged me and they said, "Why is that guy's name Jube?"
Yeah, blame his parents.
It's not Jude, it's Jube.
Jube. Craig, we're waiting on you, Craig. Oh, he just responded. Oh, thanks, Craig. All right. I was waiting on. Oh, hey, Craig. I just wanted to blame you more. All right, Craig.
Oh, hey. Oh, I didn't see you guys there. What? Oh my
Alright,
god. Oh, I'm supposed to be a juror today. Oh my god. And then there was the background play of me watching the video. Hello. Nice to see you both. Let me fix my hat. First of all, amazing job. You both have been killing it so far. No ill will from me about anything. I've enjoyed both of your companies at several different parts of this game. So I'm like happy that we're going to get a nice winner. And purely my vote is going to be geared a little bit kind of to what Taylor was talking about. She actually stole my question without knowing. I wanted to ask something about like what kind of imprint do you want to have on the game? But now that that's out and like set the precedent for the game, and what's the winner define? We're gonna leave that and instead walk into kind of a more. I want you to basically think of the story you've made for yourself. Think of your game and tell me directly from your past what actions you made that led to this final two. If you want to limit it to one, feel free. If you want to do a laundry list, feel free. But I want to know, what do you think was most impactful in getting both of you here? So feel free, whomever.
When you say both, do you mean like working together or separately?
Well, I meant more like you both got here. So tell me how you both did it. It doesn't have to be about Ben. Yeah. Like you don't have to be liable or the reason why Abby's here.
No, yeah.
Okay. Or like, what did you do that got you here?
You want one singular move.
I'll take a singular move. I'll take a laundry list. If you think one move did it, then that's fine. If you think a bunch of moves did it, then that's also fine.
You can go first if you want. Do you feel ready?
Ladies
I'm happy
first.
to go.
Ladies first.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I mentioned it in my what the chips are distracting me. Sorry. My opening argument when I mentioned knowing when to bob and knowing when to weave, knowing who to align with at what time, knowing when to cut that tether and to jump to the next thing. I think that I was working hand in hand with Karen and I saw that one expiring, had to cut it. I told you, Craig, I was being so honest with you when I was working with Ben and Emily and Calvin and Karen. And I was like, I'm going to flip next vote. If we get Tito, I'm going to flip. I was absolutely going to do that. It was 100% the game. Didn't work out that way. That's what I was going to do. And I honestly think that still would have been a good move. I think I still would have been to the end. It just would have been with different people. So I'm always looking for the out. And then Kieran, if we had let Kieran go any further, she would have won. Her name was brought up. Time to cut it. Emily, final four. Thanks for getting me here, Emily. Time to cut it. So it's just knowing how far to take people and then knowing when it's over.
Please proceed, Ben. I have a snack, so take your time.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Could I ask what flavor you're munching on?
Tonight it's a classic. It's a classic.
Okay. You hyped that one up to me. I respect.
But go on, please.
Yes, no, of course. I'm really glad you asked this question. I see like there's obviously a lot of things that I feel like helped because every single thing like helps me get to the end. Two of the biggest things I think really helped me get there was firstly giving up my immunity and taking that power into my own hands at Final 11 in order to save Kieran, because I do think that Kieran was a very big part of my game and a very crucial element for me to be able to move forward in a position of power. The second move that I really want to point out is at your boot, Craig. Emily, Calvin, and I were kind of talking about trying to keep this 5 together. And the person who seemed to be getting the most momentum in terms of mixing it up was you. I had conversations with both Kieran and Abby where they talked about wanting to work with you, or just that you were a really good bloke and like person to hang around with. And obviously I've seen that. We've had fun chats, and like I was drawn to you on the very first call.
That's all true. Yeah.
And so I feel like it was so crucial to cut you at that point, to really limit the options of other people and to continue moving forward while also keeping Calvin, Emily, myself, and the idol in a position where we had a lot more room to maneuver.
Okay, I really like both of those answers. I also wanted to ask one other question. So you both made it here. I take it you both intended to come here with the people you came with. If that's not true, fix that statement now. I did want to ask, given that we're here with in an ideal scenario, given that you both wanted to be here with the opponent you wanted for the last maybe 2 rounds, not terribly long, but you know what I mean. Which jurors are voting for you? Because if you both wanted to be here, you would both have the votes to win. So who's voting for you tonight?
I might actually, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of like talking about that. I can talk about what Abby and I talked about when we were talking about jurors. And that was the fact that we thought potentially 1 person or 2 people would be voting for us, and that there was a lot of kind of in the middle votes. And the votes that were in the middle, I felt really confident about that I could sell a big game to. And so I wanted to move forward and continue playing big. And that's how I thought that I was going to eventually convince people that by the time I got to the end, that I would be able to get the votes.
Ben definitely played big. I don't know if he played intentional. Everything that I did was subtle and intentional. When Ben and I were having conversations about moving forward together, I don't think we really talked about whose vote would be locked in, because we did kind of make similar enemies and like burn similar bridges. But I'm confident just socially with the people I talked to that we made a connection. And I also think that, like I said earlier, people are going to be objective. And you're a big one. Ben and I were talking about like, who do we think we're talking about? It was like, fucking Craig, man. Once again, who knows? So yeah, that's exciting and terrifying.
I'm so happy I terrify you both. With that said, I think I don't have another question I want to ask. We'll cut it a couple minutes short so that we could all get together after. And thank you both for having fun with me this last 2 months.
Awesome. Thanks, Craig. You can go back to the jury call. Thank you. All right. Next up.
Oh my God, I'm tired. I'm tired.
You're tired? We're getting through this pretty quick. All righty. Let's give it up for our next juror, the king of the season, the heart of the season, one of my personal favorites, Mr. Tito. Woo-hoo-hoo. All right, Tito, whenever you're ready.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Okay. So it's nice to see you two again. I want to take this time to congratulate both of you for making the final 2. That is impressive. So you should be so proud of yourselves. So when I listen into the final 5 reckoning, I heard you say, yeah, Abby, I heard you say that you thought that you could beat Calvin, and you thought that you could beat Ben. You didn't think you could beat Emily and AJ. So I just want you to like explain, like, why do you think you can beat Ben? What about Ben that you felt confident that you could beat him?
I think it's evident by the way this tribal council's been going. I think that I am very well spoken. I think I am self-referential. I think I can go back to specific moments, outline it, and be done with it. Ben's a little confusing when he talks. Sorry, Ben. I feel like I'm disparaging you. You're great. I just have to do the thing. So I think that I had that case. I also think that playing a big game doesn't require the same finesse as getting to the end quietly does. So I thought I had an argument there against Ben. I think that Emily would annihilate me and leave no trace. I think Kieran would also do the same. I think AJ had a very good argument. I think that you and Calvin are probably in the same boat as Ben, where I think I could do it. But it's not like it's going to be a wash by any means. I'm incredibly nervous. I think Ben and I are fairly evenly matched from my perspective.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good answer, Abby. For you, Ben, like I I think ever since the Kieran vote, like when you give your immunity necklace to Kieran, like I wanted to get you out since then. Like it has been my mission to take you out of this game. But every time I tried, I got egg on my face. I failed every single moment. So what is it that made you so like were able to get the target off of you so good that it was crazy. Like it was super crazy. I just want to know.
No, 100%. Thanks for the question. I feel like Abby talks about how a lot of the stuff I did wasn't intentional. And I disagree. I do feel like while I did like having fun and making a lot of decisions that resulted in like fanfare and fireworks, that they were like very, very like powerful and helped me move forward in this game. With Kieran and Emily, I knew they were threats in this game. But also I used my social game to ensure that whenever someone came for me, that I had both Kieran and Emily deflecting my name away while also keeping the people that trusted me and wanted to work forward with me together. I think it also shows that by keeping this same group together, I really was able to hide and diminish this threat level because I voted, like every time I wrote someone's name down post merge, they went home. So yeah, I do think that things I did was intentional. And while I did like know that you were coming for me, Tito, and there were even times where I didn't know people were coming for me, but I just made sure that I was putting in the work to make sure that the people that wanted to save me were around to do that.
And Ben, I thank you for doing that with Kieran and Emily and having those people deflect off of you, because I could hide very simply and easily behind the wall of 3. So you doing that gave me the perfect in as well. So thank you.
No worries.
Thank you, both of you. You guys, it was a pleasure playing the game, and I wish you all the best of luck.
Amazing. Thank you.
Good to see you, Tito. I'm very excited to see you. You look really nice in your button down. This isn't pandering. This is just being real. Everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Tito. You can return to the jury call. All right. Next up, I know it's been a long time and you miss him so much. It's the mastermind of the season. It's Mr. Calvin.
What's up, y'all?
Hi, Calvin.
I'm here. I'm the third place Satorian, here to deem who's valedictorian and salutatorian. Am I right? Well, yeah. I've been definitely listening, and I'm definitely leaning towards a certain way, which is voting for Ben. But I also want to ask some questions to help other people as well, including myself. So, a question I have for you, Abby, is that I feel like a lot of the game that I saw, other people saw more, because I wasn't really with you from a long period from Myling to the Limbo. And I feel like from the period of, you getting votes at the Simona vote to, the Jude vote where you also got votes, I feel like for me, nothing really changed there. And I did see you on New Amarok, but I feel like you didn't really talk to me and some other people. So I was just kind of wondering, what did you kind of do in the pre-merge that set yourself up better in a better position for Limbo and everything like that?
Well, I knew that you, Simona, and Sydney were a tight 3. and you got out Blizz, who was my day one. I thought we'd ride together. So uniting people against that 3 made us friends. I wasn't necessarily friends with Jude before we decided that we had to work together to dismantle your alliance. So I think uniting people over a similar cause, nobody unites people than collective hatred. Not that we hate you, but that's the thing. It really worked. And so I had friends going in, and I also diminished your numbers. You and I ended up working together. So it really, it could have worked out either way there. But I set myself up very nicely, and I was protected at every stage. I'm pretty sure that Jude vote and that Simona vote were the only times the entire season that my name was even brought up.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm going to ask you one more question, and I have a question for Ben. The question I have for you is sort of like, what do you define as power? Because for me, I feel like you're kind of calling Ben a shield, also saying he's like very visible. And I feel like someone like that you usually don't want to take to the end, you know? And I feel like the way that you differentiate your game is staying low and holding on to information. But I also feel like information is as only good as how you use it. So I'm just kind of wondering, what's power to you? And do you think you hold more power than Ben throughout this game?
That is a good question. It's a multi-layered question, Calvin. I'll give you that. When we had our interview at the beginning and we made those websites, it was like, what does the winner of Endure look like for you? And every other game I've played, the person who wins, rightfully, made friends with a lot of people. They were selective about what they told to whom. They used bits and pieces that other people let out for their own advantage. I think power is taking everybody else's resources for your own gain. I took Ben's safety and I made it my safety.
Okay, thank you. And I have a question for Ben. So Ben, I know that I've worked a lot with you throughout the post-merge phase, and I feel like a lot of moves were kind of orchestrated by all 3 of us, you know, me, you, and Emily. So I'm kind of just wondering, like, outside of the giving immunity to Kieran, I'm just kind of wondering, what are some individual things that you kind of did behind the scenes, whether that be like forging relationships or like doing something else? What are some things that you did without me or Emily, just kind of like outside of our alliance? Because I feel like a lot of stuff was in there.
Yeah, thanks, Calvin. I do feel like a big part of why we were able to move forward so well together was because of the trust that we created with the 3 of us. I do think that my relationship with Kieran was a big selling point as to why I always felt comfortable within that alliance as well. And I felt like my relationship with Kieran there was really good and kept me safe. And that showed at the final 7 vote when specifically Kieran was like shifting a lot of heat away from my name, while also I was helping build momentum onto Kieran. Secondly, I knew that while I needed to take Kieran out there myself, I also needed to make another move in the sense that I knew you and Emily were getting closer, and I also needed to like have a backup plan and have someone else that I could like flip to if I needed to. And for me, that was Abby. And I really don't think that Abby and I were that close. We were working together, but I don't think that we would have been afraid to cut each other at any point. And so for me, it was really about locking down that relationship with Abby and giving myself an extra option. So then further forward, when I had people like you and Emily in the top 4, I had the people I needed to ensure that you and Emily were getting cut so that I could come out in the front.
All right, thank you. Well, it was a pleasure playing with y'all. And this vote, I think, will be a little close. So, you know, whatever happens, I hope y'all are proud of your gameplay and know that, you know, you've won, friends. Hopefully you had fun, even if you didn't win. So, thank you.
Thanks, Calvin. We can go back to the jury call. Thank you. All right, coming up next is our 7th place princess, otherwise known as one of the founders of the series, coming to do her illustrious jury speech, it is Miss Kieran. Hi, Kieran.
Hi guys, congratulations. I'm so happy it's you too. It's so good to see you guys. I feel like a lot of times when people get voted out, it's like they know right away, like, oh, I know exactly what happened, exactly who voted me out. Abby, I found out an hour ago you voted me out. I had no idea. And like, Ben, I think I didn't know you did until like a day later. I was like, there's no way they voted me out. That's how like well you guys played, is I had no idea. I didn't know Calvin did. Even people coming to the jury being like, Calvin voted you out. And I'm like, there is no way he did. I don't believe y'all. So I just think like you guys and Calvin did such an amazing job. I was so fooled. And I mean, I'm a little naive, so I'm not going to say it's like the most amazing thing ever. But like, you guys are so good. And like, you deserve this so much. And there couldn't be a better final two to represent this season. So just so you know, like, just you should be so proud. And you guys are amazing. Abby, I'm especially just so proud of you. You did incredible. Like, we were mostly on the same tribe other than that one time. And you just played like, just the fact that like you were always kind of a target, you were also off the radar. And I know like how many challenges you faced, like how many times the wrong person won immunity or the wrong person got voted out, and just the fact that you were able to navigate all of that is absolutely incredible. And then Ben, like same for you. You were just like the biggest target every round. It was like Ben, like, but like you're just so fucking good at this. Sorry, I don't know if we're allowed to test on this, but you're so good. And like I just like you're like incredible. So I can't say enough good things about you guys. My question's like kind of somewhere for both of you, but just a little bit different. So Abby, I feel like one thing that like you did really well in this game was like, it's gonna sound so weird, but like you were like, you had a life during this game. I know it sounds so weird, but it's like half the time, like when you were on a call, you were out drunk somewhere on a beach, like at work, like you were always like on the go. But like, and I don't think you were the type of person that was like on a call every single second. You just really like utilized your time really wisely. Like I know the first two rounds of this game, I really tried to get you out. Then round three, like we talked and I was like, oh my God, I'm in love with her. Like she's my favorite person. So I guess I just want you to like tell the jury just like, how are you able, like, even though like you weren't like home all the time doing these calls, like how are you able to utilize each call so well? Cause I know you said earlier that like you learned a lot of info, you kind of sat there and observed, but also like, I think a lot of that was like your words and the way you speak and how you made people feel comfortable. Like, how are you able to use each call so wisely and to your credit?
Oh my God. Thank you. So nice. I think that I've played enough of these now where when you make them your life, you're gonna go crazy. And that was not in the cards for me this time. Also, I didn't have to be on calls all the time. I was that confident that I wasn't gonna be the vote. And every time there was like a little inkling that I feel a little weird, I would message one person and be like, hey, is it me? And they'd be like, no. And I'm like, okay, great. So then I could just go and mind my business. I also learned what works for different people. I know Emily wants to get to the brass tacks, and that's what I did. I know Kieran, we're going to kiki a little bit, girl. And that's what we did. I know that AJ wants to crack jokes. I'm going to laugh at AJ. AJ's going to laugh at me, and it works. I like found the perfect thing to do with everybody. I found that one specific thing that I bonded to everybody. Shit, I even bonded to Calvin for a little bit, and he's going to vote for Ben. So I was that confident in my ability to connect with somebody enough that I was like not the target. And also they would tell me if it was me.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Also, I know you said earlier that you don't answer your friends' calls in real life. You better answer my call every single day, or I'm going to be mad at you and you're not getting rid of me. Ben, my question for you is kind of similar because I feel like you're kind of the opposite. Like we've talked a lot on the jury, like, wow, we all felt so comfortable with Ben because we would spend 2 hours on call with him every day. Like I felt like we were best friends. Like I'll never forget that one day I woke up in the middle of the night and the first thing I did was call you because I knew you'd be the only one awake. And we talked about pineapple on burgers for like an hour. And so like, I just like, you were so good at just making me feel like, yeah, we're like besties and like, we're always going to like just hang out and be friends and like I don't have anything to worry about. And I truly like I really did tell you almost everything because I just felt that comfortable. So I guess my question for you is like with like all this time you're spending with people, like hours on call. Like, was that ever hard for you to like separate, like, this is my friend and like this is the game? Or was that something like that was pretty effortless for you to be like, I need to play the game, I need to get these threats out, but like I'm gonna just be their friend on the side?
No, I came into this game very much wanting to make friends, because I'm heading to Canada next year, and I wanted to make friends so that I could come down and extend my holiday. And that's the main reason why I signed up for this. So connecting with people on calls was one of my favorite things to do, because it really allowed me to create these bonds, make me feel like I could have a lot of fun with people. And ultimately, these games are for fun. And I really wanted to do that with people that I could just genuinely have fun talking to as well. And I think that's what I did. I separate game and friendships completely, because while there are people in this game I got along with really well, ultimately it is a game where you need to make the hard decisions to cut people, because if you don't and you take too long, like, other people are going to get to you first. And I feel like I made the right moves at the right time. And also I kept people working with me by doing it in a really fun, open way. And yeah, I feel like I feel like I've made a lot of good friends. Even people, for example, like AJ, I feel like we didn't connect on a strategic level at all. But later in the game, I do feel like we really started to actually form a bond of just on a personal level. And we talked a lot about board games and just our fun we had together doing challenges, despite being like on completely opposite pages the entire time. So I really do feel like the bonds I created, while like it did have to come down to playing the game, I also was really appreciative of getting to know all of the cast.
Well, that was 10 minutes. If I laugh faster than I thought. I think we have like 2 more left. I don't know if there's anything you guys want to say. Those are all my questions, but if there's anything you guys want to say, I want to leave the last 2 minutes to you guys.
I will say, Kieran, that getting you out was absolutely gut-wrenching, and I decided it 5 minutes before the vote. And ultimately, it was because I really do think that you would have won. I mean, look at the fucking Facebook group, Kieran. Like, literally, Sam posted final 2, Ben and Abby, and everyone's in the comments being like, "Where's Kieran? Where Kieran? Oh, I'm not watching. Kieran's not there." So, like, you would have had it, and so I had to get you out. I'm sorry.
No, I totally understand. Ben, is there anything else? We have 1 more minute, I think.
That's all right. I pretty much said everything I wanted to say based on your questioning. But yeah, I did want to let you know that I did genuinely have like a really good time talking to you throughout this game. I did get really sad post your vote for a little bit, and like Prod can attest for that. But yeah, no, it was really good fun, and I'm glad we got to play a lot of this game together as well.
No, I know for me, the weirdest thing about being voted out was like, I missed them. I want to talk to them. So I'm so excited to catch up after this is over. You guys better come visit me. And I love you guys so much. And good luck. You both would be an amazing winner.
Thank you, Kieran. You can return to the jury call. All right, guys, we are down to our final juror. I don't know what I'm doing with my hair. Unfortunately, he does have our final 2 beat for hat game, and he's killing it tonight. You can hear his laugh a mile away. It's AJ. Ooh.
Hello. Congratulations, y'all two. Y'all did a great job of making it to this point. I wish it was me, but you know what? Y'all killed this. Like, full stop. Y'all killed this game. It was amazing. Like, I remember talking to Karen many times in the pre-jury being like, oh, the person who's going to like do great in this game is the people who sit back and shut the fuck up, because these people are insane and crazy. And Abby, when I tell you, you were like behind the scenes being like, you know what? These people are going to implode. I got my shields. I know what I'm doing. I have my intentions. Like, I got this. You're killing it. And I'm like, I'm so impressed with you, Abby. And then you have you, Ben, over here. From final 10 onwards, these mother effers were like, this mother effer is going to win. He's going to take it to the end. We're going to need to stop him. And every time you turn around, you survive. You come up with another plan. You throw something out there. It sticks. And you're like, you know what? I'm controlling this. Y'all are in my way, and I want to go and win. So I'm like really impressed with the 2 games y'all played. It's truly such a stark difference. And like, I'm be honest, coming into this questioning, I was 60-40 one way. I'm currently 52-48. Like, y'all are really, y'all are really making, y'all really make this hard for me. I had a couple strategic questions, but then like y'all answered them. And I was like, okay, I feel like I understand your games pretty well now. And I feel like I know where I'm going to vote, but I do want to ask on a personal level. What does winning this game mean to you? Being the winner of Endure Season 14, you're going to be crowned the champion. What does that mean to you? And either you can start.
I'll go first. I think I might have told you, AJ, or first of all, sorry, the hat, the fit. Ben and I were talking, like, do we dress up for this? And then I was like, AJ's gonna. And you did. So thank you for coming through for that. But I think I might have told you, I told Jude and I told Karen, the first day that this game started, I found out that what I would say the love of my life is now engaged to somebody else. And I had to take 2 days off of participating at all. It was gut-wrenchingly hard. And I still made it through. And then I was like, wait, perhaps me not fiddling in the middle all the time is actually really good. So it would just mean like a lot to take a really shitty situation that I was able to manipulate into a strategy. And like I've already said with other games, I play loud. And I think it shows that I've learned a lot. I've never been to Final 2. My best placement is 6th. I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm changing, mama. And it's all about the story arc. And I love that for me, regardless of what happens here.
Sorry, you're on mute, but I'm assuming you said for me to start, so I'll just kick in. Yeah. I also want to comment on the fit. I've seen you in a lot of different hats this game. That is probably my favorite one. And like the bucket hats, while I do like them, I think that one-ups them. It probably even one-ups all of the hat games hats that we were talking about that one time too. I don't know if you remember that or not. I wish that hat was in the games. Regardless, winning this game for me, I come into this is my 3rd game of this scale ever, and the thing I really like to do with these games is have fun. And when I look and watch Survivor and watch people play Survivor, I'm really bored by the people that think there's like a linear way of playing Survivor and that you need to just like make the moves you need to make. I like to have fun, and I want to make fun moves. And I feel like by using like the season, like by me taking it out, it proves that there isn't like one strategy of like you need to do this to win. You need to go out of your way to make sure that you're like being subtle at these points, because otherwise you're going to get targeted. Because I was a target all merge. Like people wanted me gone. I wanted to make moves, and I wasn't going to compromise that for any reason. And I think that winning this game would prove to people and like show that you can have fun. You can do exactly what you want to do and still get to the end, and prove to people that this is a way of winning this game. Yeah, that's mostly it. Apart from that, I just like I've had a lot of fun in this game, a lot of fun meeting everyone too, and I think taking this out would just like really make me feel like I like all of these friends that I've made was like worth it too. Not that winning, like losing, would mean anything different either. But yeah, I really appreciate everyone that's played, and that's kind of what I wanted to do.
As much as I would love to continue grilling, we'll actually start grilling y'all and talking down your games and my issues. Like, I can't. Like, I appreciate y'all both. Y'all both are amazing people. Congratulations. Y'all did what 21 other of us wanted to do, could not do. Y'all are amazing finalists. Y'all did not make this easy. You still got your final arguments. You're still in this. The game is not over yet. You still got a few more minutes. But then you get to wind down and get drunk. So, have fun.
All right. Thank you so much, AJ. You can go back to the jury call as well. All right, friends. It is now time for your closing arguments. 5 minutes each. Of course, you don't have to use that whole time. We're going to be going in reverse order. So that means, Abby, you will be starting your closing arguments. So whenever you are ready.
I think AJ's questioning made me think a little further into something I was already postulating. And I took Ben, I think I said it earlier when I was talking. I took Ben because we do play such differently, and it is a stark difference in arguments here. And it's not to say that one way is the right way to do it. I guess you guys will decide that. But there's a lot of differences that are coming up to me now. I feel like Ben plays a little more new school Survivor, and I play a little more old school Survivor. I feel like Ben did a lot of building resume moves, and that's awesome because I don't have tons of resume moves that are out and about like that. I was methodically, intentionally, and subtly doing everything under the scenes, and now I'm here arguing a good case, and I say an even case, maybe even a better case, and I didn't have to do all the hat tricks. I also think I was like coming up with a little something. In this analogy, I feel like I'm the David and Ben is the Goliath. He's been playing outwardly and openly. He's made friends with so many people. He's good at challenges. He's good at maintaining people to protect him. But instead of me as David throwing stones at Goliath, why not just align with Goliath and have other people throw stones at him? And I can just hide behind. I think I did that very well. I think that I have earned a lot of respect that maybe I was questioning myself for a little bit. I was like, damn, do I stand a chance against Ben? But fuck y'all, if I haven't convinced myself at this point, golly. No, it's been really fun. And I've learned a lot about myself and how to play these games. So yeah, I think that's really it.
Amazing. Thank you, Abby. Ben, whenever you're ready.
Sweet. Yeah, no, I totally agree, Abby. You've sold a really good game, and I always knew that you were really good at talking, and you've absolutely nailed it so far. My final pitch to everybody is that, like, yes, if we're going to use this analogy of David and Goliath, it's a great thing, but like David still needs to take out Goliath, because if Goliath is still there, then like how can you prove that that was actually everything, like that was worth it? We talk a lot about how like Abby was using me as a shield at some points in this game too. I used other people as a shield, but I feel like the difference between Abby and I is that I managed to take out my shields and come out at the front. I believe that I did that in a way where I had to deflect with everything and make sure that my name was not in the majority. And I think I did that really well. I think the moves I made were also very crucial, and people didn't see them coming. And therefore, I feel like everything I did kind of wrapped up. I don't know, you're throwing me off, Abby. But yeah, I'm very proud of the game I played, and I feel like from all of the moves I did, everything was intentional for me to make this argument for myself today. And I really do feel like that I managed to do everything I wanted to do. And by securing my spot in the final two, I feel really good about my game. So yeah, thank you all for being a part of it, and good luck to Abby, because it's been a really fun time, like having this like fight to see who deserves it, because I do think we're both deserving winners. But in saying that, I do feel like I feel like I am at a point where I feel like I've said everything I need to say.
All right, amazing. So we will move into the voting period. This is going to be like an awkward little moment here. I don't want to end this stream because I don't want to restart it to blast a link. So you guys just get to chill here while I go and get the votes. So I'll go in the background. Jury, I'm going to pull you into the voting booth one last time, one at a time. We will go in order that you were voted out. So we'll start with Trent and with Calvin. You were voting for a winner. If you have a pen and paper, I'll try and copy down your handwriting. Besides that, yeah, Abby and Ben, you guys get to riff for the next 15 minutes while I go collect the votes. Have fun.
Gosh. Is this all live still as well?
Oh yeah, because we can't pause it and go back to live without doing a new broadcast.
Yeah.
Shout out to Maggie and Thomas. Shout out to Nico and Mitchell and Kaylee. You're my day ones forever and ever. We're gonna kiss after this. Also, I missed my flight home, everybody. I missed my flight home. I'm in a fucking Hilton Embassy Suites in Baltimore, Maryland. So just absolutely thriving. And oh my god, this has been fun. Ben, you did a fucking bang up job.
Oh my gosh, it's been actually a lot of fun.
It has been fun in a terrible way.
Yeah, like I hate that we have to compete against each other for this too, because like, yeah, it's fun, but yeah, it's weird like having 51 days of this all come down, and now it's like going to be all over.
And thank God for that.
Oh yeah, like I'm so ready to have like my life back and not think about playing the game and waking up early. Like another 6:30
Oh my God, yeah, what time is it there for you?
10:30 in the morning.
Oh, girl,
Yeah.
you need a drink.
Yuck, at 10:30 in the morning?
Yes, a mimosa.
No, true. Maybe. I need to get more water at least.
We have a question from my friend at home. She says, Abby and Ben, favorite movie?
Mr. Bean's Holiday.
Really?
It's phenomenal, that film. Oh, so good.
I think he's kind of hot.
Sorry?
I think Mr. Bean's kind of hot.
Like Rowan Atkinson or Mr. Bean?
I'll leave that up to interpretation.
What's your favorite?
Emperor's New Groove.
Banger. Good film.
Absolute banger. They also want us to kiss. Sorry, guys.
I'm gonna get more water. I'll be back in a sec.
Okay, I'll just be here. Not the box. Have you guys ever seen The Box featuring Cameron Diaz, where she has a club foot and there's like a button and you press the button to kill somebody randomly? It's terrible. Hotel room tour. It's beige.
Oh.
Oh, also shout out to Scott if you're watching. Thanks for helping me with my speech. And to Jackie from Padlock.
Shout out to Eden and Jaden. I wish that was at least like some sort of like intense music, so that like really help the montage speed up.
How do you feel about Pitbull?
Like the artist or the animal?
The artist.
Mr. Worldwide.
Dale?
I didn't get that one.
Dale? In all his songs, he says, Dale, Mr. 305, Mr. Worldwide. What the fuck? Fake Pitbull fan. Fake Pitbull fan.
Oh, yeah. Like, he's Mr. Worldwide, but who's he really telling? What's your favorite ice cream flavor? Do you eat ice cream? I don't think I've ever seen you eat ice cream.
I'm dairy free, but if I were to, I love Ben and Jerry's fish food.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. What about you?
I like any kind of cookies and cream. I'm big on. Have you had like sorbets before or no?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, just was curious. Yeah.
Okay. Rank these in order of believability. Okay.
Okay.
So most believable to least believable. Ghosts, aliens, Bigfoot.
Aliens 1, Bigfoot 2, Ghosts 3.
Are you
But
for real?
I feel like as well, like some of those might overlap.
What?
Because
Like Bigfoot's an alien?
no, more like aliens are ghosts in the sense that like I feel like there could be like beings that like live amongst us that we just can't see or like register. You know, maybe I shouldn't be saying this on like a live stream. But like obviously we see like in our dimension,
Yeah.
but I feel like there's things that potentially we like that don't have heat signatures that we couldn't register, our brains can't register, that could be around that just exist. But
So
like our brains
here's the Venn diagram. There's ghosts and there's aliens, and you're saying that they overlap to create a ghost alien.
Yeah. Also shout out to Alexi, and Cassidy. That as well. Sorry, had to jump in with that. What about you? You ranked the 3.
Oh, ghosts are fact. Number one. I've seen them, talked to them. Ghosts are real. Aliens, why the fuck not? Pretty sure the US government was just like, yeah, we seen them. But you can't really trust them, but there's something there. And then Bigfoot, I do believe in him too. I feel like he was real at some point. I feel like he's probably dead now, but I think that there was a Bigfoot. So they're all real to me, but ghosts are actual factual.
What makes them factual?
I've seen one.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Where? How? What?
Oh my God, I used to live in like an insanely haunted house. And I went into like the basement at like 3 a.m. and I literally saw this like woman wearing a white dress with long brown hair. And I was like, that sucks. And then when I brought it up to my roommate the next day, well, I didn't bring it up. She was like, dude, I saw a ghost last night. And I was like, bro, me too. So that was it for me.
That's wild. That's freaky. Did you move out like immediately?
No. But I didn't do laundry in there anymore because I saw her in the laundry room.
Yeah.
Damn, how long did it take to vote?
They're giving their speeches.
Like, oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm all for it. Let them have their moment. We had too many moments.
I can keep going.
Yeah. So many people said they were 50-50 too.
Did I not say that it was going to be like that?
It was cool. But no, yeah, I like it because it really makes it feel like everyone's like open to like what we have to say as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good.
Oh my God, when we were giving like the opening speeches, like I literally thought I might pass out for a second. Like I was like having such a panic attack while talking. It was horrible. And I was just like, power through. And then by the end, I'm like, what else you got? What else you got?
Yeah. Like really building the momentum.
Yeah.
I feel like Kieran really helped like get into the swing of things.
My therapist popping on at the perfect time.
Yeah. No, that was really lovely.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to do after this?
We have the reunion.
Wild. Yeah.
Yeah, to my friends at home, you can stop watching at the reunion. You don't need to watch anymore. I can't believe you've made it this far. Do you have magpies in Brisbane?
Yeah, plenty. I went on a walk yesterday, and like they just like stand next to the footpath and they just look at you as you go past. Thankfully, yeah, it's only like spring that you can't walk past magpies because otherwise they'll just attack you.
They'll swoop you.
Yeah, they'll get you.
The swooping magpies.
There's so many birds that are like they're just so defensive.
Why gotta
Like
be like that?
curlews, hate them. They make like the most annoying loud sounds like at
Can you
night.
do it so we know what it's like?
I'm not doing a curlew sound. No. Sorry, I keep zoning out because I'm thinking. Just a long time to sit with your thoughts, hey?
I hate it.
Yeah. Maybe it's time I pull out the guitar and start playing things.
No.
I feel like that's what I was missing from like hyping myself up was like playing some music to really.
Just a sweet little ditty, a little
Yeah.
riff.
Oh yeah. There's this AI website that I found like a couple rounds ago that I started showing people where you just like type in a small prompt and it like whips out a whole song for you, and you can have like your own lyrics and everything, and it just sounds like an actual song. It's pretty epic. Need one of those.
I'm anti-AI.
I am too because of the industry I'm in. But
Yeah.
for like creative like not creative, but like more like personal use stuff, I'm okay with it. But it's when people try and use it to replace actual jobs and stuff that I'm like,
Yeah. But aren't you kind of just replacing yourself if you do that?
Maybe. Who's to say? Yeah, no. I don't know if our industry will exist in the same way in 50 years, but
How do you think it feels? I just got my fucking master's in graphic design.
good point. Yeah, no, I can understand why AI isn't your favorite thing. A question that always circles around, which isn't the greatest question ever, but it circles around in the Australian like Survivor community, is would you prefer chocolate flavored poo or poo flavored chocolate?
What the fuck? Why does that circulate around the Survivor community?
Started as an inside joke and now it's a big thing, but it's a very important topic to discuss.
I think I could power through poo flavored chocolate.
Yeah, I think it's the better option because you're not actually eating feces.
Correct. Yeah, that's a good one, Ben.
Thanks. Yeah.
All my questions have to do with Bigfoot, so I'm just gonna give it a rest.
So, like when I think of Bigfoot, the only thing I think of is like total drama. There's like a Yeti or something, or
Yeah.
like Sasquatch or something like that.
Okay.
That's the only image I I can think of when you say Bigfoot.
Hi, friends.
Ah!
I know. It's time for the scary part. All right, I do have the votes. First off, we'll get some of the annoying stuff so that we can make you feel vomity and make sure that everyone's back. So I'm just gonna hope that my prod members tag the appropriate group so that they know that we're back from the vote, because I'm not gonna do it, and that would be nice. All right, so the reunion today will be on the Endure main server. If anyone's watching wants to join, just look for that invite. Jurors, pre-jurors, those will be blasted in your main chats. Abby, Ben, I'll give that to you guys personally. You can join in there. We're going to do rewards, hang out, any questions, anything like that. Afterwards as well on the board, I'll put up like the voting history, the episode guide with who had what, as well as my own little rites of passage that I did for you guys. Abby and Ben know about that, but this is the first season that you'll get like a full Sam perspective, rites of passage where I talk about each of you. So it's an hour and a half of me talking straight. I know you guys love hearing me talk, so that'll be up soon.
Lovely.
With that, Endure Solivagant has been fantastic. I have loved you guys as a cast. Great comeback cast. You have proven to be chaos in a bottle, and this final vote was no different. This was an incredible run from this final two. Came in not knowing who was going to win, and in this final vote still did not know. The votes have decided, though. So for the first and only time this season, we are going to be reading the votes. Tonight, you do want to see your name here. All right, guys, let's find out who the winner is.
Good luck, Abby.
You too.
All right, we have 9 votes to get through tonight. You need 5 to win. First vote, Abby. Second vote, Ben. I wish I wasn't flipped camera-wise, but it's okay. Third vote, Ben. Fourth vote, Abby. That is 2 apiece. 5 votes left. Fifth vote, Abby. Sixth vote, Abby. Seventh vote, Ben. Did you guys think it was going to be any different with this group? Eighth vote, Ben. It says you played this game to the fullest. Really impressive. 4 votes apiece. This comes down to our final.
That's so fucked, Sam.
It sucks, guys. But that's a great show of what a great final tribal this was. Final reckoning, whatever. All right. So 9th and final vote. And the winner of Endure 14 joining our great winner circle. Congrats to you both. But the winner is Ben. Congratulations, Ben. You have won Endure 14.
Thanks
as
so
well
much.
as Abby.
Awesome work, Abby. Oh, this was so much fun to play, like do this final tribal with you, Abby. That was awesome.
Great battle, guys. We're going to go off stream just so we can have a little decompress. We will all see you in the server afterwards. Congrats again on an incredible season. We'll see you next season for Endure 15. Bye, guys.
Next season.